Hello. All right. Let's do this. All right. Hello, happy, healthy humans. Welcome. We're going live today. It's me and any of you who join, welcome. Today is an exploration. Today, I just want to have a conversation that I think is really important and that I haven't heard this conversation happening very much, and I want to know what people think and what we're collectively how we're collectively responding to the question, which is, what is a woman? And it's a question that I think people have strong opinions about. Just recently, in the past few weeks, I've had conversations with people who've messaged me and had strong reactions, and I, to this question and other questions around it that it leads to. And I want to go deeper into that. And I think it's really important and I want to explore. There's a lot of nuance, there's a lot of layers. It's going to be an interesting exploration. I took some notes here that I want to look at, and I want to really completely and fully answer this question: what is a woman? And offer a definition that's clear and concise and true. Um, it's important knowing what we are as women, and because we're women, knowing what we aren't. This has been like, I can't even overstate the impact that this has had on my health and my personal journey. Understanding womanhood in what it truly is, and being able to then separate what's mine because I'm a woman and what is not mine, and what can I let go of, and what have I held on to because of what I believed a woman was and what our society tells us that a woman is. And it's been so liberating to be able to be in touch with my biological reality, and see myself for what I am and what I'm not. And I want that for women, and I want our empowerment and our liberation. And as a radical feminist, that is what I think is the most pressing issue of right now, this very moment, today, this era, that we women take back our power, because it's been taken from us and we've also just given it up. And when we women become radically responsible for ourselves and who we are and what we are, I just think there's nothing we can't do. And the world would be such a beautiful, peaceful place. And I want that. So that's hopefully the big picture of what this conversation can accomplish. But we have to start by planting the seeds. So let's get in touch with what is a woman. I'm going to explore some definitions that I've heard that people have offered to me, and I'll offer my own. Which, I mean, I don't want to own it. It's an idea that I've heard many women speaking about, and that feels true for me. So let me know what's true for you. Let me know your reactions. Here we go. We're going on this journey. Okay, what is a woman? So, the first definition I heard about a few weeks ago, just in response to something I said, was that woman is a gender identity. That's all. And I didn't understand at first, because I thought, well, how that definition, that's so vague. It's a gender identity, but well, what would we look up if we wanted to define man? Man is a gender identity. What's the difference between the two of them? Women can't just be, oh, it is a category, but well, it's a category that includes what type of creatures, how can we offer that? It's so unclear and it's so vague, and it completely avoids getting at any of the inherent qualities of woman. Okay, so I told this man who messaged me, I said, I don't, that's not clear. That's not, you didn't answer what is a woman. Okay. It's like saying a woman, what is blue? Oh, it's a color. Well, what kind of a color? If we're all going to call something blue, what do you call blue and what do I call blue? It's not just a color. So woman is not just a gender identity. Okay. Now another idea that I heard, I asked someone else in the messages, what is a woman? And they said, well, a woman is anyone who identifies as a woman. And this is a circular definition. Do you notice how I use the word to define the word? It's like saying, oh, what is a table? Oh, a table is any piece of furniture that is called a table. It doesn't get, just like the first one, at any of the core qualities or characteristics of womanhood. A woman is anyone who identifies as a woman. Well, how would someone even say, okay, I want to identify as a woman? How would I even know to identify as a woman? Like, what would be the markers to know if I'm a woman or not? Okay, this is a circular definition. It stays within the safe ground of what's already been said. It doesn't offer anything new or true about this word and language. It's so important to be clear. And that's why this conversation is so important, because knowing what we're saying and what it means is everything. That's how we can actually communicate with each other. And if I say woman and you say woman and we mean different things, then we are going to have to bridge somehow before we build anything else above that, because that's the foundation, is our language and what the words mean. So this, again, not a clear or complete definition of woman, cannot be used collectively because we're all going to have different ideas of it, and it doesn't actually offer anyone information about what a woman is. Now, what is a woman? When I asked someone else in the messages, they said, why does it matter? Like, why are you asking? Why does it even matter? And I thought that was an interesting response. And to me, I would say it matters so much. It matters in every way. It matters for personal identity, right? It matters, like, if that's why all these people are deciding they are women, they want to identify as a woman, like, that urge to personally identify is like one of our most basic needs, so in every sense, it has personal value to know and how we identify, but also it has social value, to be able to say what a woman is in society, who we put in the category of women. And when we separate groups of society, men and women, who's going to be in the woman group, and what kind of spaces are those? And so it matters socially, it matters legally. Woman is a legal category. We have, for the past few thousand years, we've been deeply oppressed, all over the world, violently, because of our biological anatomy. It's not because of a feeling. And we try to tell the witches who were burned that they could just say, oh, I don't identify as a woman. It's not a choice. It has real repercussions. Who's a woman? And that is why I don't feel that asking why this matters is productive. Of course, it matters. It has real repercussions in our lives, on a personal level, on a social level, on a legal level, on an international level, a historical level. It is important, and it's important to be clear in our language. And as we're clear and express ourselves, we're able to accurately interact and form collective ideas of what it's going to be when we all live together. So of course it matters. I thought that was a really interesting reaction. Now another reaction I've heard to the question, "What is a woman?" is anyone who is feminine. This one is very, possibly my favorite, because to me, that is just so misogynistic to assume that these qualities, whatever qualities this person is assuming are feminine, that those are the qualities of a woman, always and in all ways. Like that just hasn't been true in my experience. Not all women are feminine. Not all women are feminine in this classical way. Yes. Thank you, Jessica. Yes, it's degrading and dehumanizing to say that us women are feminine. It puts us in a box. It says that we have to be this way and have to show up this way. And that's just not true. And that's actually so degrading to our quality as people. Is, oh, we're confined to this personality and this way of dressing, and that we wear makeup and that we do our nails and we wear dresses, and that's what it is to be a woman. And if someone does that, they're a woman. And like, as a woman, if I I shaved my head, I didn't paint my nails for months, I didn't shave any hair on my body. I'm a woman. It's not because of any external or aesthetic experience of the feminine. And how offensive to men to say, oh, men are then therefore masculine, right? And saying women are feminine, men are masculine. And to say it like that is how the world works is so confining. And I know from my own energetic experience and from studying energetic texts is that there is this divine duality in all things, that there's feminine and masculine, yin and yang, and light and dark in all things, in all beings. In me, there's masculine and feminine. In you, there's masculine and feminine. In men, there's masculine and feminine. In females, there is masculine and feminine. And it is all present. And that balance of masculine and feminine is everywhere. It's in all things. It's not that women are feminine and men are masculine. And to do that, I think I see what it does to people. It totally puts them in a box and makes them feel that they need to perform a certain way and live out their role a certain way. So no, I don't agree that women are feminine, and that saying that is actually really harmful to women, because we are allowed to be however the fuck we want to be. I can be feminine one day, I can be masculine another day. I can be my full spectrum of those energetics, and I should not. I do not deserve to live in a society that's putting me, you need to be this way. And so that's confining. So another reason that definition doesn't fit for me. And so the definition, okay, that I have come to in my own discernment, in my body, in my experience of other people's perspectives, is that a woman is an adult human female. And this, for me, feels true. And it offers women a category that is clear and that includes all of us, and also gives us room to express our womanhood in any way that we choose, through our voice, through our art, through our physical body, our aesthetics, through all of that. And it still honors those innately female parts of ourselves, of our vessel, of our home. And this experience of womanhood, it on the very basic level, it is biological, as a woman. And when I started to feel that, when I started to feel like, oh my God, I have a womb, I have this organ that is life-giving, both literally and also figuratively, energetically, creatively. And I have this organ. Men do not have this organ. I'm designed with this. And that because of this organ, my reproductive cycle is lunar. And I experience that, and I experience these ebbs and flows. And when you realize all of that, that's just how it is. It's not something I chose. It's something that is deep, deep within my very being. And feeling that for me is liberating. And I want other women to feel this. So often womanhood gets boiled down to these really aesthetic things. Like even thinking about our breasts, right? Like seeing breasts in our society signals woman, 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 woman. And it's like, well, the breasts are they're glands. They contain living tissue that's life-giving and feeds our children. And so, breasts have a really important biological function for women. And yet they've been totally co-opted to be this thing for like the male gaze, to the point where if a man has surgery and has breast implants, he could feel like, oh, I have this womanly feature. But breasts are they're not just to look at. They have a biological function, and a breast that does not, that cannot nurse, that does not experience that lactating, that's not a womanly feature. And I've spoken to women who've had implants, and I've heard their stories, and it's not anything like having your real breast. It's synthetic, it's plastic, and it's not you, and it's not woman. And even our lower genitals, like just sexually, the vocabulary that we use as a society, we call everything down there the vagina. Okay? Have you heard this? Everything down there, people say, "Oh, that's the vagina." So vagina, it's a word that means like a sheath for a sword. So it's really just referring to the cavity, right? It's really just referring to the inside of us, but up until our cervix, which separates then to our womb. So it's just that tunnel. But we think, oh, it's a hole. That's what it is. It's a hole. And now women are having surgeries like labiaplasty because they want to cut away everything that isn't that hole. When all of that tissue, our vulva, that whole entire genital face, it has living, breathing tissue can be pleasure giving, and can respond to stimulation and become aroused, and it's important and vital for our sexual and well-being. And this idea that you could be a woman by just adding a hole inside of you, or taking away everything on the outside and just leaving that hole, as if the entire experience of womanhood is held within our pelvis. And these are just some ways that I've seen our language used against us to take away our bodies from ourselves and to separate us from our bodies. This effort that I see it day in and day out, that they're taking us out of our bodies and up into our heads. And the more we intellectualize this and logicize this, the further we are from our reality. And our reality as women is that we're adult human females. And I've heard sex talked about something assigned at birth, as if doctors, maybe most of us were probably born in a hospital and there was a doctor, and this idea that they're going in and just deciding which sex we're going to be. I mean, it's not assigned at birth, it's observed at birth. I heard a midwife say, well, it's not like we assign a baby 10 toes, we just observe what they have. And so it's not this imposed thing from society. We need to claim our sex back as our biological reality, our divine gift in this lifetime, our vessel and our home. And if we as women can do that and learn to see our bodies for what they really are, and learn to see ourselves for what we really are, which are cyclical beings, we'll have such a broader understanding of womanhood and of ourselves. I have so much to say on this, and I feel so passionately about it. So if you're watching this, like, I just want to thank you. And I think this is so important, and I don't hear this conversation had with all this nuance that people are afraid, I feel like, to acknowledge that men and women are fundamentally biologically different. And that's okay. And that's awesome. And we should celebrate that. And we should know our differences and celebrate those differences. Thank you. Woohoo! Okay, the people feel me. Thank you, Beck. So it's like this. It feels, oh my gosh, why does it matter? Like, I've heard women say that, and it matters so much. It matters in every way. And to ignore this is to ignore, our species experiences sexual dimorphism. Sex is something that emerged 1.2 billion years ago on Earth, and our cognitive minds emerged maybe a few 100 million years ago. So it's this newer invention that we can think our way into things, and we have to go down and descend into our root to feel that womanhood, it's not any sort of intellectual process. It's a very primal mammalian experience of being an adult human female and reproducing and giving birth in this way and having this power. And I mean birth, I know a lot of women feel maybe like they haven't had children, they're not interested, or they disassociate from that. I've heard this before, but whether we want to have children or not, like a hysterectomy would never be ideal for anyone ever, because and that's the removal of the womb, because accessing that organ in its way, um, as a creative center, not as, oh, it has to be a baby making machine, but our womb is our creative center. Our womb is where we birth everything, not just babies, where we birth ourselves, where we birth ideas and projects and art and desire and reality. From our womb we birth all of that, and because of our menstrual cycle we experience this monthly death, this bleeding without injury, this sacred act. And just being in touch with all of that is is being a primal mammal female. And I haven't experienced birth, and I don't can't I'm not going to even pretend to know the beginning of that miracle. But I can feel its metaphor within me, and I myself was birthed, and I can feel the power of that. And I can feel that because I'm a woman, and because I have that organ and I have that connection. And I just want to share this with everyone so that women can know I don't need to focus on getting my hair done or getting my nails done or wearing makeup. Like, that's not where your womanhood is. Your womanhood is in here. It's in your pelvic bowl, and going, we're so outward. We're looking at other women online. Oh, they have a big butt. Oh, they have a skinny waist. Oh, they have big breasts. And it's like, well, but what is their inner state of fertility and vitality? And that's what matters, and that's what defines women's health. And another reason why defining woman is so important is for our health, that our health care looks a certain way. It doesn't look the way men's health care looks. This is a huge area where our differences matter, and where celebrating them really deepens our own experience of our biological sex. And yeah, just I've lived with men, and I know how different we are, and it's okay, and it's awesome and wonderful, and we must recognize it. So it's important to use clear language. That was the big lesson here today. And women are wonderful and sacred. That was the other big lesson. um, and yeah, just I don't know if you've been experiencing this erasure of the word woman and this blurring of the lines of the category of woman, but I have. And so I just wanted to talk about this and be honest and real. And I don't want to um, be silent about the things that matter most to me. Even if it's uncomfortable and awkward and weird, and I'm nervous and I worry about being judged and all these things, it's the truth. And so thank you for letting me share and listening and seeing me. And yeah, women, we must come together, and this commodification and this colonization of our bodies that has been happening for thousands of years, it stops when we stop it. We only endure what we allow. And I say no more. And what do you say? So join me, and stand up for us and for women and for womanhood. And thank you, and be happy and healthy. And you're welcome to message me. You know where I am. And peace to you. Thanks. Mwah. All right. See everybody later. Thank you for joining. And ta ta for now. Bye bye.